how do I make you better by being you? Right? I think that's the challenge of being coaches.
You guys, welcome to the latest episode of the Grappling Monthly podcast. I'm very excited to be here at the first place I ever really trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at Centre Evolution headquarters in Gatineau, Quebec, with Professor King Osimko.
Sure.
Professor, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time.
Well, it's an honor, right?
Yeah.
It's an honor to be in your podcast.
Oh
right?
man, no, I appreciate it. It's a very good platform to get to know people, and we were chatting as I was setting up, right? And I remember you joining Evolution at some point, but we never got to hang out really, and I never really got to know your story. Yeah. So, this is a good opportunity for me.
Yes, sir.
Generally speaking, I'm always interested in how you actually got started, like your first exposure to Jiu-Jitsu.
Well, the first exposure that I got to Jiu-Jitsu was somewhere around, I'd say, 2004 or 2005 when, it's really late too, because I know that Jiu-Jitsu started, the first UFC got in 1996, 1993, but I think it got exposed in the Philippines a little late because of cable TV around 2005 to 2006. It just exploded back then. And we saw the first UFC, and we always thought that was like pro wrestling, WWE, until we found out that there's blood everywhere. And you would see before the previous one was a style versus style. You got this sumo guy versus taekwondo guy, and you got a guy with one glove fighting.
Yeah.
And you see this skinny little dude who thought that this guy's gonna get killed. I think it was Dan Severn that fought him.
Yep. Totally.
What's his name? Hoist Gracie.
Hoist Gracie, yeah.
And that's when we started like rooting for him, right? And then thereon you learn about jiu-jitsu, and then after that, the new era, a couple of UFC, like maybe 10 to 15, a new era of athletic people who did wrestling and did some jiu-jitsu. That's when Don Fry came in, the Randy Couture, and they're slowly transitioning from a taboo sport to a fight sport. But everybody knows during that era, people who want to start jiu-jitsu was exposed to mixed martial arts, and it wasn't even mixed martial arts that time.
No holds barred that time.
No holds barred, and you want to be that guy. You want to be that Hoist Gracie, like the basic David versus Goliath, where the small guy has the power and the ability to beat the bigger guy because of technique.
Yeah.
So that's how I got exposed to it. But sadly, in a little town called Iloilo in the Visayas region in the Philippines, like, it was very, very difficult to get a hold of technique, right? Would you believe that back in 2010, like in my hometown, there wasn't even an affiliate gym of Jiu-Jitsu. There's nothing in Jiu-Jitsu or about Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
There is one in Metro Manila, but like I told you before, it was almost kind of like a rich man sport, Jiu-Jitsu in the Philippines, because the affiliate, like, we can't afford that. It's only the big city that has that. But just like every other martial artist, you want to be resourceful. Obviously, my brother was very, very good at, downloading stuff. So the first exposure that I get to grappling, which I thought was jiu-jitsu, was Billy Robinson, that catch wrestling video.
Okay, yeah. I've heard the name before.
Yeah, talks like this. His student was Josh Barnett.
Okay. Yeah.
And we would download all of his videos, and I believe that we download this guy who used to stutter a lot when he talks like this.
Yes, Ryan
His
Hall.
name is Ryan Hall, and we don't even know that he's the who's who of jiu-jitsu that time. So Stefan Kesting, I don't know, I think he's a New York-based type of grappler. So what we did is we download all of them. We got DVDs, and we studied all of them. Nice. We just studied jiu-jitsu via DVDs. And some of them we are able to mimic and apply, and some of them are not, right? And it's not even that. The Philippines is predominantly a striking art type of practitioners because of, Manny Pacquiao.
Absolutely, boxing, stick fighting.
It goes, I think it goes also for our colonial, right?
Yeah.
Because we were colonized by the Spanish, and there's an ongoing joke where the Philippines are the Mexico of Asia. But it's true. And then after that, the Spaniards sold the Philippines to Americans. So you
mean to say very hardworking, very honest people. Right?
So I think that our influence came from Mexico, the Spaniards, which is like close to Mexico, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then the Americans, and that's why what they did or what is famous from the United States is kind of like famous in the Philippines.
yeah.
Basketball, boxing. I started out in boxing, and like I told you, in a small island, it's very, very hard to get fights. It's very hard to get the opportunity to do so.
Hmm.
Like I would get an almost kind of a fight. I would show up in the weigh-ins, and my fighter is not as a no-show, and that's how it is in amateurs. Keep training, and then you got a Philippine team, a guy who's training at the Metro Manila. He's from the Philippine team in Muay Thai. Oh yeah, I want to do that too, right? It's a Philippine team coach. I'm a martial artist first. I went into Muay Thai because eventually I want to do that route. And that time, I think MMA is coming in slowly,
Yeah.
building up in the Philippines. You got the
Mm.
Chuck Liddell, the Randy Couture. Everybody wants to be like George that time.
Yeah, of
George
course.
St. Pierre, because I think George St. Pierre was the first mixed martial artist that starts to train with Muay Thai guys, trains with Jiu-Jitsu guys.
Mm.
And then we get a visit from every now and then a blue belt would go to our hometown, but they live in the States, they live in Canada. They would visit our hometown because they were born from there, but they would go for a vacation. And one time there's this skinny blue belt girl or a skinny blue belt guy would come into our gym, and like I remember my coach would tell me like, "Hey, you want to lateral towards MMA, right? Would you like to grapple?" And I remember like I was a meathead, right? Like,
Okay.
you monkey see, monkey do. You
Okay.
watch the catch wrestling guys
Yeah,
do
yeah,
those, you
yeah.
think you can do it. You watch the UFC, you think you can do it. And I remember responding to my coach, "There's a girl. I don't want to.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna hurt her. No, no, just roll. Minus the strike, just roll." And I rolled, and at that time, blue belt was like a god in the
Yeah,
Philippines.
yeah, yeah.
It was a god, like you don't see in the blue belt in my hometown. And they would roll me into a pretzel.
Yeah.
Like I could do nothing to them. And I said, I need to learn this.
Yeah.
Like, this is like I've seen this before, but I did not actually see it work live.
Yeah.
And I started doing jiu-jitsu for a bit, and it's still at that time we still have no affiliation. Imagine we started our MMA thing because it's not even a program, because the culture is different, right? People train in the Philippines at that time in my hometown to fight, not to just recreational hobbyists, right?
Right.
So at that point in time, around 2012, it was not even until 2014 and 15 that we got our first affiliation in my hometown. It
Okay.
was that primitive. Information and education is not like on the tip of your fingertips on your
yeah.
phone. Like I can learn from a guy from
Absolutely.
Australia nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, Lachlan Giles. Yeah.
Yeah, but that time is just get whatever you want and
Yeah.
learn everything that you can, and then maybe pray that when you fight, you land that, right?
Yeah.
And we did have a couple of grappling matches in our hometown. We would do invitational, and I remember, we have people from Metro City would come from our hometown, and they would mop the floor out of us because they were way advanced.
Right.
They already have the affiliates, they have the system. We got black belts coming in from overseas and teaching them, and we're
Yeah.
nobodies from a small hometown. What we had was grit.
Yeah. I bet.
What we had was grit, was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
physical type of jiu-jitsu. And like it's before we would like, I remember before we would like pump our chest, we would be so proud winning a jiu-jitsu match.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
yeah.
like before there was no distinct divide. We thought that we're doing MMA, but now looking back in perspective, in hindsight too, like 14 years or 10 years ago, I'd cringe on what I used to do when I was an MMA guy. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, you did that. No, no, that was a jiu-jitsu match. That's not a fight.
It's funny that you say like, oh, I was a meathead, because like you're probably one of the nicest people I've ever met. You know what I'm saying? And so like it's very hard for me to picture you as like
Well, the
a
thing is,
meathead guy. You know?
well, you met me when I was like already here in Canada, when
Yeah.
things started to slow down. I'm already married. And when you when you met me around 2019, pre-COVID,
Yeah.
I was already in my jiu-jitsu journey.
Yeah.
Remember, I did not do any Gi Jiu-Jitsu until 2017.
Oh, really? Okay.
And
Wow.
back in 2012 onwards to 2015, I was just rolling around.
Yeah.
I did not take Gi seriously because I've always had this mindset before where how much gi training do I need in order for me to compete in MMA?
Right.
I was ignorant. We all right. Like I was a teenager back then. But then again, when I like fast forward, I had an opportunity. Like it's sink or swim. I didn't happen for me. A little bit of a fallout on fights. Like I went to the venue. Like in amateurs, like your fighter just no showed.
Yeah.
So all of that training for nothing, 3 months.
Yeah.
And you sort of understand an amateur, you're not getting paid. So I had the choice. Do I go and look for a job and go overseas and actually improve my life? Because my mom wasn't kidding around. I'm gonna kick you out of the house.
Nice.
You need to get a job. Being a
Nice.
fighter is not a job.
Moms are the best.
So what ended up happening is I went overseas. I went to Abu Dhabi. I trained in Abu Dhabi when I ever got the chance. I was in Ras Al Khaimah. For those of you who do not know, United Arab Emirates has several emirates, and I was in the mountain province. So what ended up happening in that mountain province is there's nothing in it. There's weightlifting gyms, but there's no jiu-jitsu. So what I do is I was a paramedic. There's 4 days duty and 4 days off. On my off days, I would ride 2 hours bus just so I can train jiu-jitsu.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's a 2 hours. I have to stay there.
Yeah.
So I talked to my fellow emergency responder who are my friends. Hey man, can I crash your house so I can just stay here for 3 days so I
Nice.
can train jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
I went to Noguera, Dubai. I went to the UFC gym. I think at some point I went to, what was it? Ajman? I forgot, Sharjah. I went to this United Arab Emirates. It's like a government-funded jiu-jitsu program
Oh,
because
okay, yeah.
in Abu Dhabi, jiu-jitsu,
Abu Dhabi Combat Club. Yeah.
Abu Dhabi is the mecca of jiu-jitsu,
yeah.
right? Like you got Sheikh who's funding a certain gym and you can train there for free.
Nice.
So that's what I did. But they're telling me like, man, we train gi in here. Do you mind wearing the gi? I'm like, okay.
That's funny. Yeah.
At first I didn't do it, because
Yeah.
like I think I told you I was ignorant. I did not grow up watching the Marcelo Gracie, the Roger Gracie, and all that. Fast forward, I train whenever I can. On the 4 days that I'm staying there, I would train and get everything that I can, and then I went back to work at the mountains. Hey, there's a big gap here. There's 4 days training and then there's 4 days off.
Yeah.
There's no training. So what I did was I bought a mat, a puzzle tile that, hey, I talked to my fellow emergency responders. Sometimes I would see firefighters and cops say, man, do you want to learn this? Jiu-jitsu is cool.
Yeah.
And then I started teaching and they thought I was teaching them for free, but it was coming from a selfish place. I am teaching them so they can be great training partners.
Yeah.
And here I thought like, okay, that's where I guess, me and Dan has the conversation that's when I guess, that's where I started my roots on being an instructor. And I said like, I didn't really think about it that time because I was just looking for people to train with. I'm reviewing what I've learned from the Abu Dhabi combat clubs.
Yeah.
And reviewing gives me the ability to teach it and remind myself the details and all that stuff. And that's how I got better. When I went back to the Philippines, when my contract is up, I talked to my coach, which is my MMA coach before. Hey, coach, I want to have a go at it again. I want to fight. That's an unfinished business for me because I was broke. I needed money. And I remember my coach telling me like, okay, you want to fight? He says like, yeah, I seriously want to fight. But why would you want to do it though? Like there's a lot of young individuals that will literally kill you for peanuts. Like unless you're willing to go 2 feet in combat sports, don't do it at all. You're married, you got 3 businesses, you got a job at the government, you got a lot to lose. Like, I don't want you getting hurt, man.
It's
Like
good
it's
advice.
it's 2 different things. It's 2 different sports. I know, and I've been around fighters too.
Yeah.
Because like I told you, the gym that I had before wasn't commercial. It was train to fight. So I said like, okay, coach, like, that's a little bit disappointing because I thought that there's one person that would believe in me. It's you.
That's so good.
And you know what he told me? Hey man, what do you think about jiu-jitsu? I've been doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I'm in like jiu-jitsu competition. I did jiu-jitsu before, like you did no-gi submission grappling. And back then, like the level before wasn't even all that high. Like right now, like you'd be surprised with the competition that we're going to get. Okay, I train on and off in Abu Dhabi. And I'll not say that I train seriously, but when on my off time, I train.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, I think I need you to compete at Gi. Oh man, come on. I'm not gonna compete in no pajamas. Like,
Yeah.
I was an MMA guy before.
Yeah.
And then like I think Jiu-Jitsu Gi has left a sour taste in my mouth because when I watched competition before, I would see lots and lots of stalling.
Yeah.
Snap down, shoving, and like before you even know it, people are like tearing their gi and yelling. But it's no wonder that jiu-jitsu is hard. It's harder for that sport to take off to be a spectator sport because let's be honest in here, high level jiu-jitsu is a little bit boring.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Black belts
Completely
are
agree.
canceling each other out so much that there's not a lot of movements.
Yeah.
But I'm not talking about modern jiu-jitsu. Where if we can have the time, I can
Yeah.
talk to you about it. That
Yeah.
the Mika Galvao, the Cody Abati, there's a new wave of young jiu-jitsu athletes right now that no, jiu-jitsu is exciting.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously,
yeah.
before I felt that the old school jiu-jitsu way was like, I kind of understand that they're kind of like boring because they don't want to give an inch. They don't want to take risk. They want to win.
Yeah.
But right now, if you watch the modern jiu-jitsu, man,
Yeah, absolutely.
my brother then told me, because I went home like so frustrated, and I told my big brother, hey man, can you believe our coach? I told him that I'm interested in fighting in MMA again. And it's like he's kind of like discouraged me for a bit. I know that it's coming from a good place, but I think I can still fight. It's like, hey man, like I've been competing in jiu-jitsu, King. Like why didn't you just try out Gi? You, look at you. My guy, my big brother, my big brother used to whoop my ass in MMA practice before when we're preparing for a fight because he's my main training partner.
Nice.
And seeing him changing his tone about Gi.
Yeah.
You know that, big brother. If
Yeah.
you're probably going to watch this,
Yes,
you are
sir.
not a big fan of Gi too. So he said to me one thing that like, hey, I think you should watch this. It will change the way you perceive Gi competition. Watch the Mendes brothers. And when I watched the Mendes brothers, I was just hooked. Like, no, it's not boring. It's people, the way they train in their style is boring.
Yeah.
When you watch the Lucas Lepri, when you watch Cobrinha Charles, when you watch like the people that done this at the highest of level, it's not boring.
That's true. Yeah.
It's like, have you watched Rafael Mendes?
Yeah. He's
Holy,
crazy.
amazing to watch. And that's when I started to do jiu-jitsu again. Okay, I haven't competed for a while, and I went back in doing jiu-jitsu competition. I remember I was pretty scared of my first jiu-jitsu competition because I haven't competed in a while. The last time I competed was around 2012 or 13, 14, 15, 16, where I worked as an emergency responder. I train every now and then, not really to compete. And my first time going back to competition again was 2016. It was Gi. I remember my first competition that I did Gi, I submitted the guy right away.
Nice.
Armbar. I'm like, I still have it.
Yeah.
I still have it. And that's where I got hooked. I trained no striking at all. I trained no MMA at all. I even didn't train no Gi for a good 2 years. I just trained Gi Jiu-Jitsu. And I trained and I competed. I win some, I lost some. I won the title, the Philippine Nationals.
Nice.
And after that, I also went for the Asian Pacific. And fast forward around 2018, I finally got my blue belt. When I got my blue belt, it was a sad story because I had to, well, not really sad, right? Because I had to make the decision. Like I have, my wife wants to settle down here in Canada. She was already a nurse here and we had to make a big decision. Is she gonna go back to the Philippines or I'm gonna have to go there, come here? I work for the government. I have 3 businesses. I am a part owner of a gym. I was like, I'm leaving out a lot in order for me to just get here in the name of love.
Yeah.
So I gave all that up. I gave all that up. I went here in Canada. Fast forward in 2019, I was a blue belt. And then I just fall in love with Gi. And then when I started coming here in Evolution and training for Gi, that's when I thought that Gi is starting to explode.
Yeah.
Right? Well, it already exploded. I think somewhere around 2016 or 15, like there's this guys from New York. It's like
100%.
they're winning all the EBIs. And then the platform, they know how to market themselves. Like they're making noises. They're winning the competition. And that's when Gi competition started to explode. When I arrive here in Evolution, I have no interest still in doing Gi competition. I still want to remain purist because I followed my old coach's advice, and I'm getting too old for contact sports.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
But funny about it that I started just go look for a job, and then I landed a job at a certain gym near around the area that needed a front desk. I started out at front desk just to get an extra income because I'm new here in Canada, and I believe that he has employees that, like, they're, how would you say this? They're volunteers, and they're not really. Every now and then they're in the gym. Every now and then they're not in the gym, and he's
Yeah.
really looking for something steady to teach. And at some point, the owner of the gym told me, like, "Hey man, like, do you ever do striking art? Because like I felt that my striking coaches have life and they're not really able to make it."
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be an MMA guy. I can teach Muay Thai if you want to, but I'm not interested in the competitive area. I just want to teach people who just coming here to sweat, recreational hobbyists. And to my surprise, when I started teaching, people just for some reason started to gravitate towards the way I teach. I don't know what is it about when I teach. Like, telling you honestly, I have no interest in teaching at all.
That's funny. Yeah.
It's like I landed the gig by accident.
Yeah.
Okay, in my thought process that time when I got the job, oh, so you need to tell me that I work in the gym, and then after I work, I can jump in and train
Train for free. Yeah.
for free, and then I can also prepare for my competition, which is Jiu-Jitsu Gi. But I kind of like snowballed after that because like
Nice.
before you even know it, people are coming to you and asking you. And to my surprise, I was really surprised, by the way, that we're in Canada.
Mhm.
This is a first world country, and you're asking a guy who came from a third world country how to do this, how to do that. I'm like, you guys are, you're the trailblazers of the martial arts world. Like, you have to understand, like, compared to Philippines, compared to Canada, United States, you guys are first world. Like, you got credit cards, you have access to information. And I was surprised that when I went to that gym, everybody's kind of like looking up to me and like asking me questions about this. And to my surprise, I'm able to answer questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of the questions I can't answer, but then ask me, well, like maybe can like come here more often and attend my class, and you can ask me the question and I can help you out. That was the one who pushed me towards the coaching, right?
Nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and after that, this just snowballed into something like I realized that coaching has many challenges. It's a different art form. It's different
100%.
compared to being an athlete.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized where I was trying to juggle it. I was juggling both. I was still competing, and on the sides, I'm helping people out and coaching them. And I was that person. Like, I've been known to be that way. Even my brothers and my family knows that when I try to do something, I try to do it 100%. I don't half-ass it, right? That's how you get better at
That's
something.
funny. I laugh only because that's my wife is gonna, if she sees this, is going to laugh because that's my way of doing things as well. Like I can't do something 40%. Like it's just it's 100% or zero.
So that's what happens. Like the origins of the coaching story was like
That's so
I was
cool, yeah.
competing and at the same time preparing them to compete. Now there was one time Nick was there competing in a competition SAU, I believe, and I think Nick was there, Dan was there, and we come out on a big team. And I was a coach before at Elmer, and the Elmer team came around with the HQ. I have a total of, I believe, 6 or 7 competitors there too, young individuals. I was running around preparing for my competition. After I do my competition, I would run and corner one guy, and then one guy I get to corner as well, and I have to compete as well. And 2 of my guys, and I was running to Nick, hey, can you coach my guy? Hey, Dan, can you coach my guy? And it's like at some point, like Dan has to sit me down, like, hey, Dan, like, at some point, Dan has to sit me down, like, hey, I think this is the time where you want to decide for yourself which route you want to go.
Yeah.
Because you can't be both. As an athlete, you have to be selfish in some sort of way that you have to prepare yourself. But also as a coach, you have to understand that these individuals kind of like look up to you. They're looking for questions. They're looking for someone to be there in their corner in their first competition, and like how overwhelming it can be.
Yeah.
Even though that it's just a jiu-jitsu competition, but some people have never had any confrontation in their life, never had even like a scuffle, a schoolyard scuffle. They want someone to be there.
Yeah.
And that's what I slowly, like I was hard-headed. I was still competing on the sides, you know what I mean? I would tell my students, hey, can you not compete this month so I can compete myself? It was hard to juggle.
Yeah.
That was one of the problem. The time management. Your focus is split. The second problem that I run into is it's almost like it's a dream job, right? You get to go to the gym, you get to teach, and this is your life. How wrong can it get for you? But there's a problem that went on that here's guy that he's like 165 pounds and here's a guy that is a 125 pounds. I would not exactly teach this guy to roll like me. He can't do it like me.
Yeah.
And I would not really teach this girl or this small individual to roll like that big guy.
Yeah.
Like, so that when it's also kind of like I told you, you can't half-ass everything. You can't divide your time. Before I was just learning for me, my physical archetype, rolling the way I can roll. But now I have to learn for you.
Yeah.
Now I have to learn for you. Now I have to watch you roll.
Yeah.
Before I would just jump on the mats and roll for myself. Now I have to watch them because at competition, we can't be repeating the same mistake over and over again, right?
Yeah.
So still, I was stubborn. Still competing and still coaching. And it's not working out. It's either the performance of my student, they're losing, I'm winning, or I'm losing, they're winning.
Yeah, totally.
Still do it until such time that I could not longer do it anymore because someone dumped me and dislocated my shoulder. Still a little bit, I was still a little bit stubborn. After my dislocated shoulder, I went back and competed again. And then again, I hurt my neck. And like, I think at some point, man, like you sort of realize that, like I have a wife, I have bills in house to pay, I have a car to pay, I teach for a living. If I can't teach, I'm not going to get paid. You have to understand what is your profession. Yeah. Are you a coach or are you an athlete?
100%, yeah.
I'm 37 years old. I think my competition days are gone. If I want to compete, I have to not coach.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I told you, we were just talking about like, hey, things are getting busy for you. Well, this weekend I'm out of town for 3 days because I have 3 Muay Thai people competing there.
Yeah.
And after that, 2 weeks after that, locally I have 1 person who's gonna fight Muay Thai. And the 2 weeks after that, I have 3 people fighting at kickboxing. And the month after that, I got 4 people fighting MMA. Where am I gonna find the time to train for myself and compete?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the challenge of being a coach and being an athlete. I guess like that's the origin of how I become coaching. That you know what, I'm old. I'm probably not gonna make it. I'm just gonna focus my energy in coaching. I'm just gonna go double down in 100%. Like this is gonna be my profession.
Yeah.
And it's working out for a bit.
Yeah, that's absolutely working out. In fact, like, you know, from the moment that you came here, I think you very quickly became a staple in the school in terms of like just having a presence. And then obviously like I left around the same time, so we didn't really get to interact all that much. But I can see like also from the content that you guys post online and things like that, like there's a good amount of students and people as you described, right? Like people seek you out for to answer their questions and things like that. So I think you have a facility with teaching, right? Like I just took your class at lunch. It's a great class, great details, you know, like it's a very enjoyable experience to train with you. So
I think timing is everything. I think timing is everything, right? Because I felt that I think when I come in here, it's not so much that people kind of like seek me out, that I have the secret sauce, right? And I think that's what most jiu-jitsu practitioners are looking for right now. The quick fix.
Yeah, seriously.
Any internet niche that can fix my game, which is like, how long have you been doing jiu-jitsu?
That's since 2011. Yeah.
I've been doing jiu-jitsu. I think we're the started. We both have our jiu-jitsu in little about same time. And we started about the same time.
Yeah.
It took us how many years to get there, and now there's a lot of impatient practitioner. Like, why am I not getting any better? Like, dude, you're so lucky because I don't know if you agree with me, but the progress of people right now is
so fast
compared to us.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, sometimes I'll train with or I'll roll with somebody. I'll be like very impressed with how good they are, and I'll be like, so how long have you been training? Just, you know, out of curiosity. And they tell me this very short period of time. And of course, sometimes people embellish a little bit, but even so, you know, I left scratching my head like it doubled the time for me. You know what I mean?
We are in an era, I believe, that the information is just right around the corner. It's not so much as what you teach; it's how you teach.
Yeah, totally.
It's how you teach, right? And there's a big debate right now that's going on, right? And I'm not really gonna get into that because it's gonna consume our time, right? On what teaching methodology is better, right?
Yeah.
But it's not so much as what teaching methodology. I believe that it's how you learn. There are visual learners, there are auditory learners, there are tactile learners, right? Different people like train differently, and I think it's adaptation, right?
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
I'm not very super smart. Like when when I study, I study a sprint courses. I would skim to the courses and I would see, okay, what is an arm bar? How do you do this and how you do that? I watch it almost like real time. But after that, I have to watch it 2 times. I have to slow it down now. I have to write down the notes in order for me to actually remember things.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy who just, there are people like that.
Yeah,
They see it,
100%,
they can do it. And some people, they don't even know how to explain it. They just do it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's coaching for you. Because I think an athletes, they're just good at what they do. And sometimes they don't know why they're good at it.
Yeah.
And that's where I think good coaching comes in, because Seb is not really gonna rule like King, and King is not really gonna rule like you. And how do I enhance your strength, and how do I hide your weaknesses? Like how do I make you better by being you? Right? I think that's the challenge of being coaches or coaching. And it's funny that you say that like, oh, you became a staple right away, that you're coaching, and I see the content, because I also noticed this before. I was kind of like, when I started getting into coaching, I told Dan, like, how am I going to be a better coach, Dan? I'm literally in Canada. Like, if we're talking about Canada, the people around the area, the body of work they do, not only that they're world champions, but they're good coaches.
Yeah.
Right? And you see people winning this title and that guy, and they're really, really good fighters. But that's when I realized, after doing this full time for 5 to 6 years, that not all good fighters make good coaches.
100% agree. Yeah.
Not all fighter makes good coaches, because
Absolutely.
some fighters, they think that it worked really, really well for them. It can work for this guy. But you guys are in 2 different weight classes.
Different
Your
body
style
type,
is not
yeah.
a style.
Fast twitch, slow
Yeah.
twitch, all types of things.
We're talking about performance. What about if we're talking about presence? What do I mean by
100%.
presence?
Yeah.
To be a good coach, you have to have involvement of someone's journey, right? For example, you were feedbacking, like Dan. When I came here in Canada, what I love about Dan was never rigid about me. When I came in here, I can't do half of the things that Dan does. I will take what works for me.
Yeah.
And I would probably just, like, it's nice to know that, Dan, but I can never kimura someone like, look at my hands.
Yeah.
Look at my torso. That's the size of his legs. I can never do what you do, Dan. Like, you're one of a kind. So, but what I love about Dan is he really is not rigid about me. When I was starting to do the Della Rivas and all the open guard stuff that I tend to do, he's actually giving me feedback rather than saying to me, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, this school has this certain system and this and this and that. And I remember when I told you when I was back in the Philippines that learning and environment can really affect how people progress, because we came, remember when I told you that we are a very, very MMA oriented gym before? I remember when I started doing gi, people would frown upon me when I pull guard.
Oh yeah, I bet.
They
For
would
sure.
frown upon me like, what are you doing? Why are you pulling guard? What are you doing this? Like, I remember telling my friends before that I can't wrestle the way I used to wrestle anymore. I'm very, very injured. Like, sadly, I'm not that young King that you guys know, that I was very, very athletic. So I have to work around my injuries, work around my body type, and work around my strength to actually get better at this.
100%.
But it's just frustrating to me before that people wouldn't discourage me to learn a certain way or to do a certain move, because our culture is we are MMA guys. You must take him down. You must do takedown. You must do pull guard. And then that's where what I like about Dan and the relationship that I have with Dan, who became my mentor from blue belt, purple belt, brown belt to black belt, is that he would encourage me. What did you learn today, King? Okay, show me what you learned. And I would teach him what I've learned. And we would go live and we would roll, and I would do exactly what I've learned, and he can't really stop it. Sometimes he has to stop it. But at least what I love about Dan is he's honest about it. Hey, I had to use force. I had to use force there.
Yeah.
And when I do that,
Yeah.
I'm working for it. So you're on to something in here. He's giving me honest feedback.
Nice.
And that's how I come to respect Dan. And I'm thankful that I got my black belt from him because he doesn't restrict me. He actually encourages me to learn my own style in terms of my journey in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
That's very cool. Yeah.
Dan is like, how much weight is he? I think he's 185.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
I'm 125.
Yeah.
Big gap.
He's also got that old man strength. You know.
So yeah, sorry, I got lost in my thoughts there.
No, that's
presence.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized that not all people, like, no disrespect, but there are instructors, right? Instructors are their involvement in the gym is they would come in, they would teach a class. If you like my class, that's good. If you dislike my class, I can improve upon it. And then after that, like, we can roll around. I can give you what I'm good at, and then goodbye. But coaches goes the extra mile.
Yeah.
I have to go home now. And okay, this guy is good in this, and this guy is bad at this. I have to go on a weekend and drive for 5 hours to corner you so you can get experience and compete.
Yeah.
Okay, what preparation do you need? For example, let's talk MMA guys, right? MMA guys, you have to, okay, what is my involvement in your camp? Am I going to be the jiu-jitsu guy and you got your boxing coach in there? You got that everything. Okay, what is my involvement in this camp? Am I going to be the, stuff
totally.
like that.
100%.
So I felt that that's the difference between coaching and instructor, is that people think just because you can be in the mat and teach, you're a coach. No, that's totally different.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely.
And like I told you, I was ignorant before. When I started teaching blue belt, I thought that you mean to tell me I'm going to be teaching on the mat and I can train.
Yeah. What a journey. Yeah.
It's different. It's different. It's more about being there for them and not being there. Like,
Yeah.
you're just behind the scene. You train them, you prepare them, you barely even get the recognition. And then when they get their hand raised, when you're lucky, you might get a post or two.
Yeah. I learned this move from King.
Oh, not really. So yeah,
Cool.
that's how I've come to do my coaching career. It's just like Dan pushed me into it. A series of unfortunate events and injuries that I cannot really compete anymore, and just, hey, it's coaching that actually pays the bills.
Yeah. Well, and I would argue a natural ability to coach as well. But if not, you've certainly cultivated it over the last few years, right? Like,
yes, it's funny to me that it's just, I guess, come naturally. Like you told me, like, I don't know, like, people seek you out, people come to you, and you've seen me teach, and I thought that it wasn't so much like I did struggle in teaching. It's like, I guess it comes from my background that I was in a university, right?
Yeah.
I know the learning process. I know how to study. All I need to do is just maybe channel that and teach people how to study.
Very cool.
Right?
Yeah. And you're a student of the game as well, right? Like I know that we were actively watching you cited a number of different competitors that you enjoy watching.
Oh yeah, like today, like we were just discussing about a certain De La Riva and Beren Bolos and stuff in the progression of the move. I like that. Like, that's also too, I felt that people are like, I thought that the day you stop learning about things and you think you know everything is the day you stop growing.
100%.
Like, for example, me, when I want to learn about a certain move, let's talk Beren Bolo or De La Riva today, because both works together in tandem, right? They it's like a marriage. They're united.
Yeah.
What I tend to do is, who have done it first? Okay, who improve upon it?
Yeah.
Who has done it at the highest of level? And I would give you reference after reference because I study those individuals. I'm not pulling something out of a thin air and like, I'm good at Beren Bolo because of this. I did that. I tell this to my students before. Nothing is invented anymore.
Yeah.
Probably someone did that several years ago.
100%, yeah.
And no, it's just so happened that right now it became a thing.
Yeah.
The leg locks movement, yes, I'd say that I think would you say Americans? Like, Americans is in generalized, right?
I think, I mean, they definitely refined it.
The Americans, I think, has a great language of explaining things because we speak the universal language, right?
Totally.
But before, it was very difficult to learn. Like, have you experienced it? Because me, before, when I got my blue belt in the Philippines, I was learning from a world champion black belt. He is very, very good at what he does. But there was a language barrier. When he was teaching us a certain move, you hold this, and you grab that, and you hold this, and you get an arm bar. Like, I think what I think John Danaher, right? Let's speak the name, like, or the modern day teachers such as John Danaher, Firas Hobby. There's a lot of coaches, right? If you want to be a coach, if you want to get into that industry, follow the good coaches, the great coaches. And I think what they did good is they were able to specify the names in the position well, so at least there's no guesswork anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
There's no guesswork. But nowadays we're moving backwards. There's rage against the words. That's too much words. There's too much information. That we're going backwards.
Yeah,
where
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought that we're going the right way here.
Let's just play a game, and then like you grab me, I grab.
No,
you.
don't get me wrong. I'm not against the new methods, right? Because like, what difference does it make? They just rebranded it to a different name.
Totally.
It's situationals.
Yeah.
We used to do situationals.
Yeah, 100%.
But I know that they put the medical jargons in the nursing. I remember I went to nursing school. That what is medical jargons? If I'm speaking to you and you're a bystander, I should speak to you in the terms that you understand.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna use hypothermia, increased blood pressure, and all that stuff.
yeah.
I think that's the only reason why I thought that people think that like, oh man, you're just using way too much stuff to sound smart. Actually, not quite. I thought that it took away the guesswork.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Language is very, very important. And now there's rage against organized learning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, oh no.
It's funny that you say that, because there's I don't want to get political, but there's you know, like a lot of institutions that are maybe have their own problems, like educational institutions are facing funding issues and problems, especially in the U.S. And it's like there's almost an assault on higher learning and education, and it's very strange because like you need that to be able to at least give you the frameworks that you can then use to do your own critical thinking.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that you want to push this is the only way. Like you said earlier, right? Like Dan, for example, didn't tell you, no, you have to do it this way. But he gives you the framework and the tools, and then you figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
And so like it's
Well, here's my take on it. It's funny to me that I think we move into a certain direction. I kind of understand it. I am not against it. That's what you call commercialism. Like a lot of people now are kind of like doing their pages like to sell their brands and all that stuff. It's funny to me that these individuals are attacking the way certain things, the way they learn, but it's also the same individuals that have the answer to the problems.
yeah.
Don't you think that there's a little bit of suspect in there?
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
one
yeah.
who raised out the voice the concern of the problem has the solution.
Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah,
But-
yeah.
The way I see this, you can start breaking the rules. Just like, for example, like I'm a multi-martial arts coach, right? Like you see high level fighters drop their hands down, but in the amateur, when you're learning, people are saying like hands up,
Yeah.
always hands
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
good defense. There's a certain way that you want to get into a certain skill proficiency that you want to start violating the fundamentals. But if you started violating the fundamentals early on, I think it's a matter of time. People are going to exploit that you are very, very lacking of fundamentals.
Yeah.
One of the many things that I saw, like I told you, let's talk about today we were talking about the modern jiu-jitsu era. We started in an era, that it used to be a combat.
Yeah.
So now the modern era are violating certain rules that would not work under combat environment.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So the point of that is, what rule set are we trying to play at?
Yeah,
Right? If we're trying to do
exactly.
combat, should we stick to combat rules? If we're trying to play jiu-jitsu format, like it's a game, we should play jiu-jitsu format.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alphabet. When we're forming a sentence, we need to learn an alphabet to form a word.
Yeah.
We can form a sentence. We can form a paragraph. And from forming a paragraph, we can write songs. We can make poetries. We can make all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's destroy the alphabet. Let's destroy the alphabet. Let's just
Yeah.
use our own thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I like that. There's a lot there to unpack. I think one of the most interesting things is that like first time I saw like visual art, I didn't really like understand it, right? And my wife is like very educated in the arts, and she helped me to see like a little bit past the surface and understand something about the different painters, the different traditions, the different arts, and then you see those that do break the rules. they've already mastered all the rules. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have to like get to a point, like the flow state, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
have to get to a point of mastery to then be able to flow and then be
Yeah.
free, truly free.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the beauty, but that takes so much time, so much investment, so much
It
dedication that,
takes so much time. Sorry for cutting
yeah,
you off.
yeah.
And most people are not patient.
That's it. That's exactly it.
Right?
Yeah.
I want a quick fix.
Yeah.
I want to be a black belt within a matter of 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, let me be honest with you. Unless you're BJ Penn,
Yeah.
unless you're Nicky Rod, that there's something physically, like like we're not all created equal.
No, that's true.
Like
Yeah.
unless that you're showing to be something like different about you, and I think that's the problem where I think people wants to stand out.
Mhm.
They don't want to learn, right? Because if you want to learn, you kind of like sort of understand and reality check. Like having grit, having a little bit of a delusional mindset, that's good too, right? Because at some point, most genius are delusional.
Yeah.
One of my favorite paintings is Vincent Van Gogh, right? Like he never sold an art a day in his life, like but he sold one painting and then he died, and
Yeah.
boom, his starry nights are a success.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's kind of like what we do. It's like you refine your craft, you improve every day. Some people get their break early because of their capacity and their talent, and some people like me, who I'm starting to believe getting my success in coaching just now after 14 years of doing this.
Yeah.
And that's I know it's not worst part, right? It's a blessing too, because I felt that I have more success of a coach than I was an athlete, right? Because like I wasn't like I win some, I lose some, but there's
Yeah.
nothing really special about me when I was an athlete, right?
Yeah. 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 Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's very cool. I think maybe we'll transition to the lightning round, just because I think that the cleaners are going to maybe
Alright.
come here. But yeah, so I like to do a little lightning round at the end of just quick questions and just fun stuff,
Yeah.
just to end. Because if you leave it to us, we can talk
Yeah,
all
we
day.
can talk all day about all
Which
the
is the nice thing about
Yeah.
this podcast. But all right, so rapid fire. Here we go. Coffee or tea?
coffee.
Nice. Ocean or mountains?
Ocean. I'm from the Pacific.
There you go.
From the Philippines. I love my ocean.
There you go. Favorite submission?
Shit, that's a lot there.
Yeah, that's the tough one. Yeah.
That's the toughest one. Okay. I'll probably go to what I land the most. Armbar.
Nice.
I'm just pulling out something on the data. Most of my
Yeah.
competition, I landed armbar.
There we go. Perfect. Gi or no gi? If you could only have one for the rest of your life.
One for the rest of my life. I used to think gi,
Yeah.
because like I thought that gi is more technical. Sorry, I'm justifying it rapid fire. But now I thought that now that I finally like moved to combat arts and all that stuff, I think no gi would be practical for me right now. Where I'm at with my life, no
Fair
gi is
enough.
practical.
There we go. Guard pull or takedown?
Ooh, where I'm at with my life again. Guard full.
Okay. Nice.
You should have asked me 10 years ago. Take down.
Takedown. There we go. Yeah. And then before that, it was punch to the face, right?
Yes.
Good. What's a country you haven't traveled to yet that you would like to go to?
Ooh, I want to see the Sistine Chapel.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Italy. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see the Sistine Chapel.
Nice. What does King do when you're not doing jiu-jitsu? What do you like to do for fun outside of the martial arts?
Oh, that's a tough one. Well, now I've done a better job at it. I spend a lot of time with my wife.
There you go. Be a good husband.
Yeah, because like sometimes we get lost in the sauce. My whole identity became King the athlete, and when I couldn't be the athlete anymore, I became King the coach.
Yeah, totally.
And like I was there for everyone. I was there for my pursuit to do that. And like I went crazy for a bit. This is what I want to do. I study all night. When I'm in my house, I'm still studying. But now I become who am I outside of the martial arts in general. When I'm not coaching on a weekend, when I'm not teaching,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be a good husband and be present for my wife.
Nice.
Right? It's very, very important, because if you don't separate the two, you'll lose your mind. Like,
Of
yeah,
course.
it's not your all identity. Like, no. I remember one. Sorry if I'm butting in here,
No,
but
yeah.
my student asked me sometimes, like, "Oh, did you watch the fight this weekend?" I start teaching here from 8:30 in the morning and I finish around 10:30. And on the weekend, you want me to watch fights?
Yeah.
No, I'll watch the replay.
Yeah, totally.
Skip the walkout. Skip the
Yeah.
announcement. I just right now, like to me, it's a sad life because like I just watch the fight.
Yeah.
Sometimes I even turn off so I don't hear the audio. I can just really see what goes on.
Nice.
Because sometimes auditory is biased, right?
For sure,
So
absolutely.
I turn off the audio, I skip the walkouts, I
There we
skip
go.
the hype, and I just watch the fight, what happened in the fight.
Nice.
Okay, that's what I do.
That's cool. There was a time, most Canadians and Quebecers will remember this. I don't remember the year, unfortunately, but there was a strike for the broadcasters, the TV broadcasters on the French channel. So you could watch hockey and you had all the game sounds, but there was no commentating. And to me, it was beautiful. You just see whoosh, 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 the slap of the puck, you know what I mean? Like with no
Because you're
commentators.
just focusing on the art.
Yeah.
You're focusing on what the other guy is doing,
Yeah.
why he won that fight. And it's a beautiful thing. Sometimes
yeah.
I watch it in half speed. When I see something, go, "Oof,
Yeah.
you pulled that off.
Very
That was beautiful to watch."
Nice. You can tell that you're passionate about martial arts. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just love about it. Like it's sad before when I could no longer compete because I thought that competing, I love it. Like there's a sudden adrenaline rush that I feel that I would never get. But now I find the joy of just seeing my competitors do well.
Yeah.
And most of all, even if they don't do well, just no injuries.
Yeah.
Let him lose a split decision or even be majority decision. The guy was just better than us that night. But I can see him on Monday and I
Yeah.
can just train. Like
Yeah,
that's what I wish for all my athletes. Like you can just, dude, this is amateurs.
Yeah.
You're not getting paid for this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you're getting paid for this, I kind of like understand. Okay, like if you're willing to break a limb because that's a paycheck for you.
Yeah.
But in amateur level, what I wish for like is just like safety of the athletes first. Right?
Nice. So tell me or tell us where we can find you and how we can train with you.
Oh, well, I work here full time now at Evolution headquarters. I am the program director of the Muay Thai program. Also, our Muay Thai program is sort of a hybrid. We participate in traditional Muay Thai. Also, we participate in K1 kickboxing.
Right.
The big difference is the clinch, right? There's one knee and then they disconnect you to force more action in open space striking. But well, me on Muay Thai, on the other hand, there's more brutal knees and elbows.
Yeah.
Right. Just explaining. Because some people don't know the difference between K1 and Muay Thai. And I'm also an MMA coach here as well.
Nice.
And I'm also one of the assistant coaches and the head coaches here because there's three of us, me, Dan, and Nick. I do Jiu-Jitsu as well.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of private class too. I start my day around 9:30. You can see right away, like I was working with a lot of people and then it's classes after classes. You can find me here at Evolution HQ. I work here full time. You can book your private class. You can find me in Facebook. Just type my name and you can also add me in Instagram. I think that's where most young individuals is.
Yeah.
I think I'm not gonna go beyond TikTok.
Yeah. I tried TikTok. I can't. I just can't.
So yeah, I think that you can find me there too, right? If you want to.
Nice. Professor, it's been a great pleasure to get
Always
to know
a pleasure
you.
to know
Thank
you,
you so
sir.
much, brother.
Yeah, thank
I
you, sir.
appreciate it. We'll come back. We'll do part 2.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.